Yo, what is going on, my YouTube family? It's your boy, and look, we're still in our pajamas. Pajama boys! Listen, squad, I wasn't gonna make a video today, right? But I decided to, and you know why? Because last night, right, me and my wife. Okay, so here's the context, right? Before I even decided to watch this movie, I've been reading a lot of articles of, how this company's dying and, how things aren't the same and they keep switching up actors and this and that and this and that. And what I'm talking today, guys, what I'm talking today, what the fuck? And what I'm talking about today, guys, is Marvel, right? You guys know Marvel, the first phase, second phase, third phase, fourth phase, whatever the case is, right? And I've been seeing a lot of backlash on Marvel just because of the fact that, they're saying after Infinity War, the Avengers basically took a big dookie, right? To be completely honest with you, y'all, I don't think so. You got to remember, right? New generations, new kids, new parents, whatever the case may be. It's not meant for, the sole audience that you know, it's not meant for us anymore, guys. It's meant for the new story. It's meant for the new generations. And you got to think about it this way. How many more stories in Avengers can we do with the same Tony Stark, the same Captain America, the same, this and that? Guys, the actors get older, of course, right? It's only going to go as far as CGI when, Paul Walker passed and they put him into the ending credits.
Hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye.
Or any kind of animated, cartoon version of them. You can only go so far with that. How many movies are you going to make before you end up like, after Stanley passed away, they had a little CGI section of Stanley that, you can tell was, animated.
Me, true believer. Trust me.
I understand the concept, and to be completely honest with you guys, Thunderbolts was a very good movie. I did like Thunderbolts. I like the concept of Sentry. So, long story short, if you haven't seen Thunderbolts, guys, look, spoiler alerts, right? The concept of Thunderbolts, right? Not only is it, a superhero movie, it's talking about the new phase of the Avengers, right? And I actually did like it. I do like the new Avengers lineup. So, long story short, right? Thunderbolts, the concept is all right. So there's a new, I wouldn't say maybe he is an Avenger. I think he is an Avenger, right? So there's a new Avenger. His name is Sentry, right? And the concept of it is he's basically battling himself. He's battling his second side. He has very, very highs and very, very lows. So he gets very, very happy and might think, might see the silver lining of some things, or he might change and at the snap of a second, he's basically the void, and the void is, the depressed version of him. It's the sadistic version. It's, the one that feels empty. He's at war with himself. He just wants to be okay with himself, right? He doesn't feel comfortable in his skin. And he's just battling through, his traumatic experiences. The woman, Yelena, or I think her name was Yelena, she's Black Widow's sister, right? And you guys know as, Black Widow died in the Avengers. Was it Endgame? I'm pretty sure she passed in Endgame. So, it was a really cool concept of it. You know what I mean? So, how I see Sentry, of course, he's way more powerful than, the Incredible Hulk, but that's kind of how I see Sentry, is basically the new Hulk version. You get me? Because he has two different sides. The only difference is Bruce Banner feels his side with anger, as Sentry's emptiness, his void, is what powers the other side. Now, Bruce Banner can, get out of being the Hulk a lot faster than Sentry can get out of being the Void, because it's just consuming him. It's an emptiness. It's a darkness that, you just can't, it's overwhelming. You can't get out of it. It makes you not even want to get up. So in the movie, they find him after, they travel into their memories. Okay, so let's break down the context, right? So when Sentry touches them, they all have like a traumatic experience, like a memory that they weren't okay with, right? That they had to live through. And so Sentry was able to see that too, but he had his own traumatic memories also, but they were all built like in different rooms. So you could crash through a mirror and end up in another memory, or you can break through a wardrobe and end up through another memory, you know. But when they, were searching for him and they finally found him, he was inside of a room that just had, books, pictures. It looked kind of like an attic basically. And he was there and he says, the other rooms are way worse, but this one's quiet. So I found me a quiet room to sit in. So he was just there while the void was consuming everything and everybody, right? And I did like the concept of that just because of the fact that when he's in the void, it basically, he can look at someone or point at someone and they just boom, vanish into the void too, right? So my theory on that is, in real life, when someone is so overwhelmed with emotions and they're so upset or so sad, sometimes it's so overpowering that the people around them are affected by it so much. So that was a cool concept. And that's only my theory on it. And, that's how I interpreted it. I do like the new wave of Marvel, guys. And you guys might bash me in the comments for this, but I did like it. And yo, Bucky, that's what's up. And I'm not gonna front the new Captain America. He's corny as shit. He's very corny. And it explains, so okay, so he's kind of a jerk, right? And it explains why he's a jerk, but what happened to him is because why he was a jerk, if that even makes any sense. So, yo, Thunderbolts is a good movie, guys, and I do recommend watching it. Now, for everybody that's stuck in, oh, they're changing up the characters and Marvel's not the same, I don't like the new wave, this and that. Guys, what happens when all those actors pass away in real life? What are they gonna do? You're gonna have an old ass Iron Man Tony Stark? No, that doesn't fit the idea of what the comics was. In the comics, guys, Tony Stark doesn't grow old and die of old age. They had to work with what they had, guys. Reiterate. In the new wave of Marvel, so this is very far from Marvel, from was it the Eternals, right? So, because the Eternals are like gods or something like that, I think, or like demigods, or they have like some different kind of power, right? But with the Avengers and everything that happened with Thanos, who even knows? They might even be stuck inside of the quantum realm, or maybe they really did just go. As I was saying with the new wave and the new generation, it's just like cartoons that, we used to have as kids, guys. We're grown up now. The new generation, the new kids, yo, a lot of these kids, like from the new generation, they really love the new Marvel movies. They really love Thunderbolts. Of course, we're not going to love it because we're already grown up. We already have, a certain expectation of what they used to be. Now, I do agree with all of you guys when you guys are saying that, Marvel's becoming a little trash. I do. But I don't think it's, as bad as everybody's making it out to be. One movie that was, one of the worst Marvel movies of all time was Thor Love and Thunder, or whatever that movie was. I don't even remember the full title. That movie was lame. That movie was really lame. And also, Marvel keeps doing little spin-offs like She-Hulk, Lawyer of whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Like that. That's what is throwing everything off. Now, I do believe that Marvel's cooking up in the studio. I do feel like Marvel's cooking up, guys. And Thunderbolts was a little bit of just a taste of what they could bring back. Who even knows? You know what I mean? Because okay, there's two Avengers movies after this one, right? There's Doomsday and then there's some other one. I can't wait to watch those. I bet they're gonna be just as good as all the other ones, and that's my take on it. Guys, you need to watch Thunderbolts just to see what I'm saying. Because I used to be the kind of person, right, that I would just watch a video like Penguin Zero, aka Charlie, or I would watch a Rotten Tomatoes review or just something, right? Or my bad, I would read a Rotten Tomato views or something. And I would let that dictate how I would view the movie that I was about to watch and be like, oh, if they didn't like it, I know I'm not gonna like it, right? But yo, Charlie, you've been making some really bad decisions when it comes to rating movies because Thunderbolts was good. It was good. I like the concept of it. And if you're someone that struggles with, inner demons, or someone struggles with, a darker side that you wish to change or you want, to do better with, or, you know, you just wish that you were better, then you can relate to Sentry a lot, and you can relate to this movie a lot because all of these people in this movie is running from some type of past, running from some type of memory that they can't face but end up facing, and they embrace it. And so it was a lot deeper meaning than, this movie was deep. It was a lot deeper meaning and a lot deeper mentally than, you know, people that were rating it even saw. That's why they didn't understand it. They thought it was bad because they didn't understand the concept of it. But let's talk. Let's touch on something else, right? As you know, your boy uninstalled Call of Duty. And I uninstalled Warzone, Black Ops 6, what have you. I just uninstalled the full hub. And when I tell you that I honestly feel happier with video games and I feel like I can actually have fun with video games now, I can't explain it, but usually I would hop on the PlayStation, right? I would look at what game I was going to play, and I would always go back to Call of Duty for some reason, and I don't know why. Or Fortnite or what have you, and I still do play Fortnite, mind you. I just don't play it as much. I play it with my stepson or with my boys because, that's like one of the only times I get to hang out with my friends, or, you know, not one of the only times I get to, bond with my stepson, but that's one of the things that we do to bond because, we obviously have other hobbies and what have you. After I uninstall Call of Duty, I finally feel like I can choose more options. Like, instead of getting confused about what I should play and then being like, damn, I don't know, and then just going back to Call of Duty, this is kind of forcing me to try new things. And yo, your boy's getting back into Dead Space, right? The original Dead Space. And I'm talking about, oh, okay, this is the remastered one, right? Because I don't have a PlayStation 3. But we have the remastered Dead Space, right? And yo, I stayed up till like 1 in the morning with all the lights off. My wife's right there just watching videos, scrolling, and I'm with the remote like this. And then when a jump scare happens, I'd be like, you know what I mean? Yo, I'm gonna be streaming Dead Space. I'm thinking maybe tonight, but if not tonight, for sure tomorrow, guys. It's just I gotta wait till it's, completely dark outside and gotta turn off the lights, and you got if you're gonna play a horror game, you gotta play a horror game right. So that's what we're doing, and I absolutely love it. Let me tell you, I'm so glad that I did uninstall Call of Duty. And if you have the same problem, if you feel stuck, if you feel like video games aren't fun anymore, guys, those live service games, Call of Duty, Fortnite, they'll really have us stuck. And Fortnite's decent, don't get me wrong. I thought I didn't like it, but I played with the boy the other day and I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty fun. I have some clips from that in. You guys got to stay tuned for that. I had the airstrike finally, and we were blowing some stuff up, right? But for sure. And also, if you guys haven't tried the First Descendants, you guys got to try those. That's a really good game. It's kind of like Warframe in a way, but just crazy graphics, and the characters. The characters are built. The developer to First Descendant, right? You you little creep. You know what I'm saying? Because all them character builds, they something else. Let me tell you. And those jiggle effects are crazy as well. Let me tell you. But yeah, I started finding the love for video games again, guys. And yeah, just, play something new. Even if it's off of the free games you get from the library or whatever the case is when you have your PlayStation subscription. Or if you don't have the money for, to buy a lot of new video games, guys, buy the subscription. It gives you so many video games for free. You can try so many video games. And what's cool about it is if you don't have the time to play the video game now, but it's on the market to download for free, of course, having the subscription, you can put it in your PlayStation library and you don't have to play. Guys, I've had some of these games sitting for like almost a whole year and they're still in my library just waiting for me to play it. So that's honestly really cool. So I would honestly invest in that. And it's just $10 a month, guys, to get the subscription. And it gives you a pretty good couple of games a month. Like, it's pretty good. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about my love for video games. and wanted to talk about Marvel, guys. Thunderbolts. It was good. But yo, Tento's family, on to the next one and later.